Are you in the market for a smart home camera and wondering if there are any common mistakes while purchasing that need to be wary of? Well, don't worry, I will go in detail of all the red flags that I personally encountered when purchasing my smart home cameras and how you can get around them. So stay tuned, and by the end of this video, you will be ready to make a clear and informed decision when purchasing a smart home camera. When anyone is in the market for a commodity, let alone smart home cameras, price is a factor that they usually prioritize the highest. So, higher price, higher the quality, lower price, cheaper the product, right? Right? Wrong. When it comes to smart home cameras, pricing does not give you the whole story, mostly thanks to its tech still being in its infancy. So, the most expensive camera available might not give you the best features, and the cheapest camera available might just give you the best value for money, depending on your needs, of course. For smart home tech like this, it's best to first consider the brand and just how long they have been in the market. So, check the reputation and brand value of the product before jumping the gun and buying your cameras. Smart home cameras from Blink and Wyze are one of the more popular options available, with Google Nest Cams catching up slowly but steadily. Now, this is related somewhat to the price factor that I mentioned, and it's quite an important segment too. You see, smart devices are usually judged based on the specs that they provide. While the spec sheet helps in giving a general idea of how the device may perform, it does not paint the whole picture. There are plenty of factors that are hidden in plain sight that matter way more. It's not necessary for a 20 megapixel camera with a cheap sensor to outperform an 8 megapixel camera with a good sensor. Megapixels aren't everything. The number of IR LEDs present on a camera is also something that's not usually listed on a spec sheet, but it's something that makes a massive difference in your nighttime shots. Just because your camera is rated to withstand extreme weather conditions thanks to its IP rating, it does not mean that you can mount your camera in the wilderness and forget about it. There are plenty more examples that I can provide, but do you see my point here? You just can't look at a spec sheet and judge how the camera is gonna fare. I will always recommend that you do your due diligence and check out reviews for the product, especially long-term reviews, to gauge whether it's gonna be a perfect fit for you. Unlike CCTV or IP cameras, smart home cameras aim to provide a convenience that they achieve by putting one foot on the hardware and the other foot on the software. But the thing with software is that there are a plethora of operating systems out there, so it will be hard for your camera to be compatible across all, even if the hardware exists. So make sure that the camera that you're looking at is compatible with an operating system that you have in hand. Most users tend to use their smart home cameras with their phone or tablet, which usually runs iOS or Android. First, ensure that there is proper app compatibility, either with a natively supported app from the brand or support via the designated smart home app that your operating system has, like Apple Home or Google Home. The compatibility should usually be written on the box of the device, with most reputed brands usually having their own proprietary app with which you can configure and view the files recorded by your camera directly from your phone running iOS or Android. I must stress that you get your cameras from your reputed brands, as knockoff brands do exist and they might push malware via the shady apps. Before getting yourself a smart home camera, there is quite a few groundwork that you must complete regarding where you want to mount your cameras. Smart home cameras generally do not have a great field of view, especially compared to a conventional CCTV or IP camera, so you might need to set up multiple cameras at different angles for the best results. Smart home cameras like Blink and Wyze come with a stand that makes it easy for you to mount it on a wall using screws or place it on a tabletop like Google Nest cameras. Although they are very versatile, I still recommend that you buy your cameras based on your specific use case. For example, you can buy a Blink outdoor camera for outdoor use and a Google Nest indoor camera for everything inside your house. If you're in the market for multiple cameras, I recommend that you first buy a single camera, try finding multiple mounting options and camera angles, and estimate your exact needs before purchasing in bulk. There are also some key things that you need to know before mounting your cameras. First, you need to make sure that your camera is mounted snug and is attached to a solid wall. Make sure that there are no obstacles in the line of sight of your camera. Even transparent objects like a glass pane can restrict the emission of IR lights for nighttime footage. Finally, there is something that might push you off the edge when it comes to surveillance cameras in general, and that's the subscription plans. They are a sure inclusion on almost all smart home cameras, and they basically provide the features that the brands advertise locked behind a paywall. Although I am not someone to give you advice on whether you should enroll in a monthly plan, what I can tell you is my experience using it. I've had Wyze and Blink cameras for quite a while now, and what I can say with surety is that you won't be missing a lot if you're not subscribed to a premium plan. I mean, of course, if you want access to a great deal of convenience and features, you will need to be subscribed to a premium plan. But for the average user who just wants the video capture of the motion detected in their personal vicinity, a free plan should work well. A thing that I like about Wyze and Blink cameras is their inclusion of local storage, which saves all recorded footages directly to your memory card or thumb drive. So, I highly recommend that you get a camera that has an option for local storage. This will also help in cases where you can't connect to your home Wi-Fi and you want your camera to keep recording. One other thing that I found to be a major red flag is that some brands only offer security updates for those subscribed to a premium plan. I highly recommend that you don't involve yourself in such brands, as these are security devices and they need to be on the latest security updates at all times, no matter what premium tier that you're in. This is also the reason why I would not recommend that you get an older security camera, as it might no longer be supported to receive security patches, and that will lead to further issues down the line. Blink cameras have a fantastic track record for security patches, so it is something that I highly recommend. Before signing off, there are two things that I would like to talk about. The first is to subscribe to our channel, as we have plenty of similar content planned ahead. The second is a huge debate between wireless and wired smart home security cameras, and truth be told, they both have their own list of pros and cons. Wired cameras are the ever reliable of the two, as wired connections will ensure consistent operations, but they are messy and require constant power for operations. Wireless cameras solve that by being hassle-free and packing in batteries that last long enough, but they are more prone to be vandalized. In the end, I believe that they are both great options, and I recommend that you pick your poison based on what tech that you're convenient with based on your location. If there's anything that I missed, do chime down in the comments and I'll make sure to pin it for others to read. If you found this video useful, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more smart home content.